This is Comics Covered for the week of October 10, 2018. You know, sometimes we are forced into situations where the status quo changes. That occasion is today. Doug, can you elaborate?
Well, yeah, see, I seem to have kind of identity crisis here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not really feeling myself.
That's interesting.
It is interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Samantha.
Yes.
And I'm even newer than Jack to comics.
Yes, she is. Yeah, so we're both kind of new. Doug is not available. He is doing stuff. But for now, we still have comics to talk about, and we're gonna gosh dang do it. God darn. God damn.
Yep.
We swear.
Yep.
But we're not warning you anymore. Did you know that we changed that? We're not warning them about our swears anymore.
Can we say the F word?
We can say the F word, fridge.
Oh.
Oh.
We can't. Okay.
So we talk here about the comics industry, movies, TV, games, and we'll have some spoilers because we'll talk about some books later. A lot of them, a decent amount. And I'm Jack, if you didn't get that idea. I think I already said it, though. We have some news talk today, but before we get there, Samantha, Doug and I usually do a little bit where he gives me a weird character to guess based off of a picture. Mm-hmm. But instead of that, because I don't know a lot of weird characters, because I'm the dumb guy, I want you to tell us, as a very new person to comics, who your favorite character has been in any series that you've read thus far. Which has been a lot, granted, but anything. What do you think?
Well, I guess my most recent love has been Sobek from 52.
Okay, who's that again? Explain.
That is the crocodile who talks.
Okay.
And who is friends with Black Adam and his little family before they're brutally murdered.
That's like Isis and Osiris,
yes.
Right? In 52?
Yes.
And they I believe, what is it? They find him in Dr. Savannah's...
Osiris finds him.
Osiris finds him.
And they become friends.
Yeah.
And he's just a really sweet crocodile.
Yeah.
And
I remember who you're talking about now.
Yeah. And then, something happens.
Mm-hmm. What happens? It's okay. We're giving spoilers for 52. That series came out 10 years ago? Just after Infinite Crisis. So yeah, probably about 10 years ago.
Yeah, so
spoiling
so Sobek is this sweet little crocodile who's all shy and is Osiris's best friend. And all of a sudden, when he doesn't really need that family anymore, he just decides, you know what? I'm going to eat Osiris. I'm going to eat him. I don't need to put on this facade anymore.
Yes.
And you learn that little Sobek is not such a sweetheart.
Oh my god.
What?
It's just I'm having flashbacks to that, to reading it.
Yeah.
It's so sudden.
You die inside.
Because, it's just what is it? Osiris, feels guilty that he's, hurting people because he doesn't know his own power. So he's I think I'll say the magic word and become not powerful because I think it's better for everybody. And then,
Sobek is saying, yeah, just do it.
Just
you can do it.
Yeah, that's okay. And then
you're wow, he's such a good friend.
But then he
so
creeps
sweet.
up behind him. And I believe they even draw it in this bright red color. And he's I think Osiris again says, Sobek?
Yeah.
And he's creeping behind him. And he's this little paralyzed kid now. Because he was paralyzed before he had the powers. And just that first thing of him, his jaws on his body, just teeth ripping and blood coming out of it.
And then he's one thing with Sobek throughout the thing is he talks about how he's always hungry. He always wants food. So after he brutally devours Osiris, he says, I'm not so hungry anymore.
God damn. It's just and they were saying that hungry. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he was saying because he was always eating. He was
always hungry, and they did it aw, Sobek.
It's
it was
a joke.
Funny little cute thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's just nuts. And then, of course, we find out that Sobek is the embodiment of death.
Yes.
Which I don't know why it's a crocodile. When I was reading 52, I think I remember believing that it was Killer Croc or something. Because I knew that was a Batman villain. I don't know. Do you know who that is?
Yeah. I thought that for a little bit, but then it kind of...
They didn't say anything about it, so I was oh, okay, I guess he's not. He's just another anthropomorphic crocodile. Okay, very interesting. Different. I was not expecting you to say that.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's a very specific character.
It is. I mean, I also love Thanos.
Yeah.
And I love bats.
You love him?
I love Thanos.
Do you wanna be with him?
Oh.
Yeah.
He's just so sweet.
He's very complicated.
Thanos is so complicated,
Yeah.
and your heart hurts for him because he really believes that he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And
Charlie Manson believes that.
I know, and my heart hurt for him, even
Really?
though he deserved everything he got.
Wow, are you like those girls that like follow Charlie Manson and like worship?
No, not at all. Thanos is a horrible villain, but if you look, at him, you're like, I feel bad for you. I feel for you.
I mean, how can you not love that face?
I know.
He's such a face.
He's so cute, especially as a baby. And,
yeah. Oh my god, Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
We're both reading Cosmic Ghost Rider by Donny Cates right now. And
Thanos is a very cute baby.
He is a very cute baby. And a very terrifying Punisher.
And then I was saying my third favorite, Bats, from
oh my god,
Donny
you have a
Cates,
whole list here.
yes,
Jesus.
From Donny Cates' run of
Doctor Strange.
Yes, Doctor Strange.
Bats is the Basset Hound.
Yes.
That is not my Ghost Basset Hound. I haven't been reading Doctor Strange since Mark Waid is writing Doctor Strange now, and Doug's read like the first couple issues, I think, but he didn't report back with good reviews. Okay. But no bats apparently.
Oh well, then I don't want to read it.
Exactly.
See, Donny Cates here. He likes bats.
Yeah.
He's a proponent of dogs, obviously, so I'm going for Donny Cates here.
Yes, of course. My favorite character that I've read is probably how Donny Cates actually writes Doctor Strange in that whole run. It's so great.
That's your favorite character.
That is out
of everything.
Yeah, okay. Because what Donny Cates does in that run of Doctor Strange, which just happened, it was called Loki, Sorcerer Supreme first, and then he did Damnation, and then he had like a little wrap up issue. It was like I think a little over 12 issues in all. Okay, but in any case, over the whole run, I think he writes Doctor Strange like he's so badass, but at the same time, you can like see all of his flaws like right out there, and it's just towing this line between like this character is awesome and badass, and like you need to work on yourself. Sorry, that was my phone. That was my bad. That was actually Doug, I think. That was Doug. He was just telling us how to record this podcast because I don't know anything, and he knows more than I.
Jack's a dum-dum.
I'm a dum-dum.
But it's okay. I'm a dumber.
Oh, look at you. In any case, we're not too dumb.
No.
We just don't know as much about comics.
We're competent people. We can do things.
We're competent, you know. But in any case, let's go. I love Doctor Strange by Donny Cates. It rules, and it's awesome. Let's move on, Samantha, into news. Yes. We have a few news things. We're just going to go briefly into them, okay? Because they're not huge. There are a lot of movie things, actually. We have a couple of movie things. Another different thing. So, first of all, speaking of Donny Cates, legendary...
One of some of the most exciting news to ever occur.
Okay, yes. Yes. No, I agree.
Yes.
Well, you never know, and that's why I want to talk about this. So, Legendary Pictures, which is a production company, films, picked up God Country, the book by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw that came out last year, 2 years ago, something like that. That's awesome. But they picked it up to make it into a film, and Donny Cates is writing it. So, great. Well, the great part about this is that Donny Cates gets to put his vision from God Country onto another medium, which could really do well for it. But in that sort of shuffle, sometimes things get lost in the process. Sometimes, maybe we hope that he can write as good of a movie as he can a comic book, because there are different mediums.
And also, since it's not his company, they could curb what he's doing.
Exactly.
Him, we don't like this part, take that out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's okay. Like usually, on at the end of it, up to them.
Yeah.
What gets on screen.
Exactly.
Now, I don't know if they would do it. It's a very specific project, and I feel like they wouldn't do it if they were going to change it significantly. Hopefully.
Well, because a lot of times when you're adapting a book to a film, they add a lot of unnecessary things, or they take out a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's really hard, I think, to have a book and a movie be equally good.
Well, also because
I've rarely seen that, ever.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
Because also this is only like a 6-issue thing. Mm-hmm. They have to make this into like a 90 to 2 hour long movie.
Right.
They have to add stuff, some sort of B plot or storyline, because it really is. If someone doesn't know, sorry, God Country is about a family, a son, his wife, their small daughter, and the grandfather, who is big dude. They live in Texas, and the grandfather has severe dementia or Alzheimer's. I think it's specifically Alzheimer's. Yeah. One day, a magical sword falls from the sky, and when the dementia-ridden, Alzheimer's-ridden grandpa picks it up, he is granted a lot of like strength, and he can wield the godly sword, and he doesn't have dementia anymore. So it's great, but people want the sword back. So that's the whole thing. That's about it. I'm not going to go into everything because you should read it.
But if anyone hasn't read it, be prepared.
Yes.
For lots of tears.
Yeah, definitely.
It
was kind of the first thing you read.
It was one of the first things I read. I think you read it to me, actually.
We read it together, yeah.
And
Doug makes fun of us all the time, even on here.
I mean,
reading comics together is kind of fun, just so you know.
Fun. And it worked because it got me into it.
Exactly.
And I think God Country is a great one to start with because you really see that there's people who are not into comics to begin with. They have a certain view of what comics are, and this changes it. And this makes you feel a lot.
Yeah, because even your mom, who's never read or had any interest in comics before, she read this book, God Country, and she really liked it. And now she reads, she read Kill or Be Killed. She's further in it than we are. She's reading Man-Eaters by Chelsea Kane, which is an ongoing. She read Royal City by Jeff Lemire.
The other one.
What's the other one?
Johnny Cates one.
I don't.
With the baby.
Baby Teeth.
Yes.
And she read Baby Teeth, which is another ongoing. So that's Samantha's mom.
Yes, and we'll eventually, once we catch up with Kill or Be Killed, we're going to have her on discussing.
Yeah, we'll try.
Because she's even more new than I am.
For sure. I actually haven't asked Doug about that yet. I'm sure he'll say yes.
He'll say
but
yes.
I don't know if we should tell the people yet. This is a tease, I guess.
Then we might or might not.
Slow burn.
Yeah.
In any case, great. We'll see how that turns out as film, if that even gets picked up after he writes it. Donny Cates. So the other next thing, Samantha doesn't know about this yet. James Gunn, who was recently fired from Marvel, working on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, has been confirmed by DC to be writing a sequel to Suicide Squad. You watched the first one, right?
Yes.
What did you think? We watched it together, so I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
It was really hard to get through, but we had to get through it.
We had to watch it.
We had to watch it, but I did not like it.
It was not.
It was really cringy. I
don't want to shit on it too much because, it's not like Batman and Robin from 2000 or 1990 something. It's not that bad, but it's pretty bad.
It's just not a movie that I would like to sit through and watch. That's all.
Well, there is going to be a sequel, and James Gunn is writing it, and it's going to be a fresh take, DC says.
I will definitely watch that if James Gunn is.
There is not a lot of word on what fresh take means, but people like Will Smith, Margot Robbie, who plays Harley Quinn, they're set to reprise their roles.
Nice.
So it's going to be the same cast maybe, but it's going to be James Gunn writing it. And honestly, if anything's to be believed from, or to be taken away from his Guardians of the Galaxy tenure, he does pretty darn well with comedic, superhero-y, action. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited. Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, we have a new roster for the Guardians of the Galaxy in comics from Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw, which I'm super excited for. I think it's January it comes out.
Cool.
So it's going to be awesome. Them together is great. Some people that we know, some people that we don't know. Samantha, just give me a nod off if you know this person as I read them off, okay? Star-Lord.
I will say yes or no.
Okay, Star-Lord.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I guess nodding doesn't really...
No, they cannot see me nod.
Doesn't really go through audio.
No.
Adam Warlock.
No.
Okay. Groot.
Yes.
Silver Surfer.
Yes.
How do you know Silver Surfer?
I just know he's silver and he surfs.
Oh, you know why?
Why?
You read Thanos, and he was in that with, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's an interesting, okay, because also Cosmic Ghost Rider is in the Guardians of the Galaxy. We heard that before.
Of course I know him.
Because so that's the last time Silver Surfer and Cosmic Ghost Rider met. Except, if this comic is in the present, that means that they haven't had that confrontation.
Right.
Because Thanos was like millions of years in the future.
Right.
Okay. Comics are like very confusing sometimes with their timeline.
Of course.
Okay, here we go. Moon Dragon.
No.
I'm
so excited to see who that is.
What is it?
I just feel like it's a dragon on the moon.
That's just all he has. He's just waving
all over the moon. Hey guys.
Does he breathe fire? He can't breathe fire. There's no oxygen.
No, he's just a moon dragon.
He's just a dragon on the moon. That's great.
He's a moon dragon.
Do you think he's dragging his feet?
No, I don't.
Okay. We also have Gladiator.
No.
And I'll say I do not know these people either. Beta Ray Bill.
I've heard the name, but no.
Do you know why you've heard the name?
Is it something with the horse guy?
What horse guy?
The horse guy in Watchmen.
In Watchmen?
No, is it not Watchmen?
It's not Watchmen.
What was it?
It's a book that you've recently read.
Is it 52?
No, it's not. It's one of the ongoing books that you're reading. By Donny Cates. With a lot of death in it. With people that are inhuman.
Inhuman!
Yeah!
Death of the Inhumans!
That's it!
I remember. So that is the horse guy.
Yes, that is the horse guy. He just showed up in Death of the Inhumans. Like, apparently, he's had many adventures with Lockjaw, the teleporting dog.
I love Lockjaw. That's another one of my favorites.
He's not in the Guardians of the Galaxy, unfortunately.
I really like the animal characters.
Yes. So here we go. That was Beta Ray Bill. We also have Phyla Vel.
No.
I have no idea who that is.
That's kind of sounds like a female body part.
Doesn't it? Yeah. It kind of sounds like
fallopian.
They really do that for a lot of... Well, I can't really think of more than fallopian.
No.
Phyla Vel. There's the Vaz Defrons and the guys.
Yeah, but that doesn't really...
You don't think so?
I feel like Vaz Defrons could be some kind of character name.
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll ask Doug next week.
Yeah.
There's a Vaz Defrons between a man and a woman. Okay, that was my dad's joke. Then we also have Nova.
No, but I feel like I've heard the name.
So, you've seen the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
Do you know, in that movie, there was someone called the Nova Corps. They were the, policemen of the planet.
Yeah.
Nova is I believe, a member of that corps.
Okay.
And it's like a mantle kind of thing.
Okay.
That's the idea I get. Then we also have Dark Hawk.
No.
I have no idea who that is. It is just a hawk.
That is dark.
That is dark.
I'm dark. I'm so dark.
Oh, wow. He talks, he whispers like that under his breath?
And all he can say is talk about how he's dark.
Wow.
That's it. And how he's a hawk.
That's amazing.
I know.
But yeah, that's the roster. Some people we know, some people we don't know. It should be great. I'm really excited for that to come out.
Me too.
Okay. Samantha, we read comics this week. Let's talk about our weekly comics. Samantha, I want you to list off the comics, the titles that we read this week, that we both read.
All right, so we read Farmhand, number 4, Justice League Dark, Wonder Woman, The Witching Hour, number 2.
We usually say when there's a colon. But
colon.
Thank you.
The Witching Hour, number 2.
Thank you.
Comma.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to say
colon is just an inherently funny word, I think.
Right, okay. Quantum Age, number 3. Venom Annual.
Okay, also, I have to make a quick note. I don't know if it's the annual. I don't know what an annual is still. I just know that it comes out annually. That's all I know about it. But they have these things called annuals that come out that are separate from the monthly, ongoing book.
Uh-huh.
So, I, for some reason, read that this was an annual, but I think that's, next month or something. Okay. I don't know.
So we read Venom.
Annual is. But it was a Venom thing.
Yes.
By Johnny Cates.
Immortal Hulk.
Number... I don't have the number written down. Number 7. Number 7. Wow, that series has been going on now.
Yes.
And by myself, I read Avengers number 9 and Superman number 4. I wanted to give a quick note on Avengers. just because it's been like on the low end, like almost off of my pull so much because I haven't been digging on it. But it's okay. It's good. It's just not that good. I don't know. But this issue I really, really liked. And also in that legacy numbering thing, the next issue is number 700. So I feel like shit's going to go down. And Namor just showed up, which is basically like DC's Aquaman plus like some Black Adam sprinkled in there.
Okay.
Like, he's not fucking with it. He's defending Atlantis and not allowing anybody to fuck with the Atlantis shit. He's not collaborating. He's with Atlantis, and he's like, bro, get the fuck out of Atlantis. That's basically his deal.
Okay.
Correct me on social media if I'm wrong.
It sounds interesting. I think you should continue it.
I mean, I'm going to get the next issue, but it's on thin ice.
Yeah.
Or I guess now it's swimming in, like, shoulder height water.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Samantha.
Yes.
Do you want to give our spoiler warning? Because we're going to talk some spoilers.
Warning. Alerta. Alerta.
Ooh, that's good.
Thank you.
Live in, we're coming from you live. Not live. We're recording in Los Angeles because we live here. And on the radio, we hear that commercial a
Quite
lot.
often. Yes.
A lot. And I don't think it's the same commercial.
No.
I think it's different commercials that use the same gentleman that say, alerta, alerta.
Yes.
And it's just amazing. It's
I really enjoy it.
Amazing medium
Yeah, it is.
of storytelling.
So yeah, spoiler warning.
Thank you. Samantha.
Yeah.
We read books this week. What would you say is your pick this week?
Okay.
Other than mine, which I've written down. They can't see you looking intently at the screen. Okay, you don't need to, like, read it off. It's okay. I put Quantum Age.
That's my pick.
Okay, you can
We
pick...
had already talked about this, that is my favorite of the week.
Okay. So, let's talk about Quantum Age.
We can also have the same favorite.
We can also have the same favorite, but we both need to have books that we talk about specifically.
We can talk about
that we gotta
other
talk
ones.
about, is what we usually say.
Yes.
Even though I don't think I told you we're trying to destructure this segment. So, like, we don't have, like, a cover of the week, a panel of the week. We just kind of, like, talk about everything.
Okay.
And then we, have those sprinkled in there.
Okay.
So, let's talk about Quantum Age, since it was awesome, and it was probably both of our favorite books this week.
It was so good. It was so good.
Jeff Lemire is wonderful.
Fantastic man. And speaking of Jeff Lemire, we just picked up, which we're going to read at some point, I think it's called Lost Dogs.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't sure if I should, like, mention that on here, because I really don't know anything about it.
I'm excited to read it.
Yeah?
Well,
I'm excited to read it, obviously, but
if anyone has read it, please let us know.
Yeah, actually, you should send us a message. Don't, like, spoil the book for us.
No.
But, like, if you know anything about this book, Lost Dogs by Jeff Lemire, it looks like it has a lot of, black and white with red in it. And it's, like, this book that he did, like, very early on in his career that is now mostly out of print. But we got this is, like, the only copy that was at our comic book store, right? Yep. So that was fun. But, so Jeff Lemire right now is doing a lot of stuff in the world of Black Hammer, which is a great series in and of itself. This one, The Quantum Age, is about the future of that series. So we're working with a lot of sons and daughters of those heroes in that series. Well, not sons and daughters, sorry. This is like thousands of years in the future, I believe. So they're like distant ancestors.
Yeah.
But, Samantha, tell me a little bit why you liked this book.
I just felt like it was such a great beginning because we remember seeing, what's his name again?
Archive V.
Yes, we remember seeing Archive V when he was older. And then suddenly it starts off with you see him as a child and talking to his mother, which we don't know what the mother is.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I feel like at this point when you see an android talking to him like a ship or whatever, I always assume it's like the alien thing. And that's what they did in Alien. The android's called like the central hub mother.
Exactly. But that's just what I pictured. I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
So then you go through it and you see him in real life on Earth with other species.
You get like the birth of their teen that they made, which is, I don't know if you knew this. It's sort of like in DC Comics, they have this thing called the Legion of Superheroes. Yeah. They're from the 30th century and they're all teenagers. Huh. So that's what cool. This is kind of like doing.
Okay. So he goes through that and he witnesses a lot of death and sadness and loss. And he comes back to his mother and just says, I'm done. I've seen enough of humanity. I don't need to see any more. That was too much for me.
He like wants to be assimilated again.
Right. He doesn't want any part of humanity. It's too sad, too difficult. So he goes back to Mother. And then we see this page that was in Black Hammer, where all the people woke up in these pod things. And we found out that, what's her name?
What? Talkie-walkie?
No.
What?
The woman who put them in there.
Madam Dragonfly?
Yes, Madam Dragonfly is the one who put them in the pods.
In the other series? Yeah.
So then we go through it where...
What is it?
This woman...
Well, basically, the people go to this place where Archive is because they're trying to look for it. The other people that we've been following in this story, this is number 3.
Yeah.
And, like, in the first 2 issues, we were following these people trying to get the Quantum League back together. So, yeah. They are coming here to wherever Archive went, and it's revealed that...
Wait.
What? They've probably read it. Or if they haven't, we already told them to leave.
Okay, fine. It's Talkie-walkie!
Yes!
Talkie-walkie's the mother! Oh my god!
Yes!
Oh my god!
Talkie-walkie, who is a character from Black Hammer. Now, well, Black Hammer, the original series, not this Age of Doom. She's never been in Age of Doom, actually. But she was killed in that series, and now she's here thousands of years in the future! What the fuck?
It's amazing! Holy shit.
It's insane. So, apparently she's now this evil overlord computer thing that's assimilating all the knowledge and is done with humanity. She's like a Dr. Manhattan kind of thing.
So this issue was just... I mean, I physically moved. Kicked my feet. I was so excited while reading this. So it is definitely my pick of the week.
Very nice.
The others were good, but this one got me moving.
Okay.
Emotionally and physically.
Definitely. I love that. And I love the way, this guy, Dave Stewart, on the colors, just does so well. I love the art in general, but Dave Stewart has been doing the colors for every single Black Hammer thing. And
that's really cool.
It's awesome. And he does a lot of colors for Jeff Lemire in general. He does colors for him on Gideon Falls as well. Andrea Sorrentino is art for that, which that comes out next week, I believe.
Very excited.
By the way. Okay, so let's see. I need to pick a thing then to talk about. I can't pick that because you didn't read Superman. But Superman is interesting these days. I like Superman. Okay. But Action Comics is by far superior, I think.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, okay. That's why we're here.
So, I don't really understand what Action Comics means. Is it like a Marvel, DC, then Action Comics, or is it, what is it? I don't understand.
Okay, here we go.
Please enlighten me.
I will enlighten. Enlightenment. So Action Comics is a title under the DC umbrella. Okay. Action Comics, so back in the day, with the funny books, is what they used to call them. Yeah. They didn't all have, a comic that was devoted to this Superman character at first. Okay. Superman came about in something called Action Comics, which was the title that had generalized storytelling. So where I don't believe you had to pick up every single copy of it to understand a story. It was episodic. So it was about different things. So Superman debuted in this Action Comics, and he kind of took the reins because he was super popular. Then that title was kind of like Detective Comics, which was another thing. And
please elaborate on that as well, because I am also confused on that.
Detective Comics was where Batman debuted. So basically, the reason why they're things still is because even though titles have evolved, it's because those two characters are very popular, right. And this is a way to both keep that historical title going to things like 1,000, which it's at 1,004 now, Action Comics. Crazy. Detective Comics is 980 something or something like that. But this is a way to both keep that historical title going, and also to give Batman and Superman two separate series that are going on in the same continuity. Okay. So Superman Action Comics is focusing on more of his like everyday life as a reporter and like chasing down stories as Superman and like some actiony stuff, but not focused on action whatsoever.
Okay.
Superman, the title Superman, is about this, same character, same universe and everything, but he's like doing a bunch of action shit. Like right now, spoilers for Superman. The Earth is in the Phantom Zone, which is like which is a fucked up place, basically, where they throw villains that they don't know how to deal with. Because they don't want to kill them, but they just throw them into the Phantom Zone, usually. So the whole Earth has been thrown into this place along with them, which is great, Right. But that's like a huge like event-sized thing that Superman handles in his title for action-y stuff. And Action Comics is more about he's trying to figure out who's like setting fires around the city. You know what I mean? So it's like more groundwork.
Does it work? Is it good?
Oh, it's great. Okay. Action Comics is a great, great book. Superman is a good book, and I love the art probably more than the actual writing. But it's just not as good, I don't think.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you.
Yes, of course. So let's talk about. What I want to talk about is Farmhand.
I love it.
We've been reading Farmhand since its beginning. It's by Rob Guillory. It's drawn everything, written, drawn.
Rob Guillory was the artist on Chew.
Yes, on Chew.
Great book.
Artist on Chew. That was all written by John Layman. This is his first writing experience, and it's been a great series. It's only got one more issue left, which is annoying. It's on 4, and it only has till 5. But
hopefully this is his start.
Hopefully,
a lot more.
I think this is probably like a proof of concept thing, and I think they'd be dumb to not give him more. Because, like, I can understand them only giving a guy who's literally writing his first thing only 5 to work with. Like, it makes sense. But it's been great. So Farmhand is about, like, this dude who gets this, like, I don't know if it's like a formula or like a specific seed, but he's able to grow human body parts and sell them to, like, hospitals and people.
But the weird part is that it's not like a black market operation.
No, it's regulated. He's out in the open.
Yeah.
And people are obviously mad at him that want, like, they want to make money off of this in different ways, and this guy seems to have a control over it. But yeah, and, stuff ensues. The military's watching him through his daughter. What?
A majority of what it's about is his family reacting to what he's doing. So the effects that, this has on his family. Mm-hmm. It's not just affecting him, it's affecting his children, his grandchildren.
Yeah. And, I love, like, the story and everything, but I really, like, I think the best part of this is the art.
Yeah.
I think Rob Guillory's art is such a great mixture of cartoony, comedic almost violence and dramatic timing and, like, emotional payoff. Like, it looks goofy on when you first look at it. Am I wrong?
No, it does. But when you read it with the words, it perfectly demonstrates the emotion going on.
Yeah,
perfectly.
Like it's goofy enough to where, like, comedic moments can happen all the time. It can happen whenever, and it's all like lighter, but it gets to these moments that are more like, oh shit's really going down, and this is not good for them. And you can really feel that, and I think that's really cool. Like, this and the ones I think that are doing the best of that we're reading are, like, Marvel 2-in-1 by Chip Zdarsky. What's the other one? Farmhand, this one. And also Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yes.
Like, all 3 of those have such emotionally driven moments, but the art allows it, and the art and the tone allow it to also occupy this space between, like, melodrama and goofy slapstick.
Right.
That's so cool to me. And it really shows in this one because Rob Guillory has such specific comic looking art. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I really love this. It's really cool where it goes. I highly recommend Farmhand in general. You should get it. Like, we're kind of wrapping up the first arc here, but they can go so many more places. So I would go out there and read it. I know I didn't really give spoilers there because, like, I mean, I don't want to give spoilers because
you should read
it's a smaller, like, series. I don't think a lot of people have heard about it probably. So go out and get Farmhand. Probably when the trade comes out, because that'll probably be in like a couple of months or so. But yeah, that was my pick this week. I also wanted to just get a word out on Venom. Like, what was your experience on Venom, Samantha? Because I think we had a very similar experience in general.
Well, I was confused for a lot of it. Because I think, wasn't there a character we didn't... Yeah, this character. We didn't know who this was.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Well, he introduces himself as Reed Richards.
Yes.
And you know who Reed Richards is, right?
Yeah, and he's like, no, not that one.
Yes.
So that was great.
Yeah, but like, I don't know who this is. I have no idea. And there's probably people pulling their hair out because they don't know. You know, they are like, of course, it's this dude. It's crazy. And a lot of people I saw online, they're like, oh my God, he's back. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Right.
But I guess his name is Reed Richards, and he's a different person.
Yes.
I'm going to assume he's Reed Richards from a different universe.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best part of this for me, and I'm assuming for you, since we didn't really understand this part, was at the end where he says Flash Thompson is dead. Which
is like really cool because, and I wasn't really that, like, I don't know what's going on with Flash Thompson current continuity. I guess he's dead. But like, I could tell that this was the reveal, that not that Flash Thompson is dead, but that Eddie Brock seems to be unaware that Flash Thompson is dead. And I think the idea that the symbiote is like controlling his memory so that he's protecting him from like trauma.
Right.
That is so cool. Like,
so cool.
It's like this codependent relationship because Eddie Brock is kind of weak in terms of like emotional.
He's very weak.
Like,
but he looks so strong.
He looks so strong. He's such a strongly driven character, but he doesn't know how to deal with emotional circumstances sometimes of his situation or being by himself.
It's very similar to an addict. If you think
an addict, yeah.
They're very weak unless they have the thing that they're addicted to.
I can feel that. It makes complete sense.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really cool, that whole idea. So I think that kind of brought me through it. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm going to wait for Doug to tell me. But I just really loved reading it because the art is still great. It was a different artist. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
His name's Iban Coelho. But I know Stegman is on the front because he did the cover.
Oh.
But they don't have Iban Coelho's name on the front, which is kind of shitty.
That is kind of shitty.
A little shitty.
Why did they not give him credit for that?
I have no idea. But if you open the page, you see right here, Iban Coelho, artist. Isn't that nuts?
Wow. We should write to them.
We should write to them. Did you know? Okay, sorry. We have books next week too. I'm just gonna get into that, the whole writing to comic books thing right now, because I have wanted to ask Doug about this so much, but I haven't remembered. Like, people write to comic books, like to writers, and they say okay to print on there.
Yeah, because in the back of a lot of comics they have that.
Have you ever read it? Have you?
Yeah, I have.
You've read those things in the back?
Yeah.
I've not read them. What do they usually say?
It's just people saying how they loved a certain thing, or if they had a question about a certain thing, or are they going to do more of this or more of that?
Like asking about the story.
Yeah, and then the writer writes back to them.
That is so cool.
It's really cool.
Okay, I want to know if anyone's out there that's written into a comic book, like, or to a writer or anything. I really want to hear about it, and I want to. I don't know if Doug does. Maybe he doesn't care.
Well,
but I care.
Want to, and I care.
And
I'm important too.
You are important
Thank
too.
You.
I think so, at least.
Thank you.
I mean, I'll bet most of the world doesn't know who you are.
Yeah, I know.
But at least for me, I think you're great.
Good, thanks.
But in any case, I wanted to go over what's going on next week. We got Baby Teeth coming out, which Doug isn't reading, but Samantha and I are reading. And it's awesome. It's by Donny Cates, kind of a horror.
Doug should definitely get on that.
I know. He's trying to cut down also, though, because we've been getting a lot of books.
This is not one to eliminate, though.
It's not one to eliminate, but it's also, it's a lot that he's getting. He gets more than I do, and I feel like I get way too much. But we also have Black Hammer Age of Doom, also in the same universe as Quantum Age, which we talked about. Cemetery Beach, the second issue of Warren Ellis's new thing. Cover by Bendis, which we're reading, which is part of his Jinx World thing. Gideon Falls is coming out by Jeff Lemire. Justice League and Justice League Dark, because The Witching Hour is weekly. We got Skyward, which Doug is not reading, but we are, and it's awesome. Last thing that happened there, spoilers for Skyward, was giant bugs.
I'm very interested to see where that goes.
Yes.
Very excited.
And then that was this week. I don't know why I have Venom on here again. Probably because I copy-pasted wrong. It's not coming out this week, I assume. Life of Captain Marvel, though, is. And also, 1975, also known as MCMX LVI, I don't know, whatever.
I forgot. We read that, didn't we?
We read that. It was
that the taxi one?
It's about a woman. So premise of that one is the woman is a taxi driver, but she also fights monsters. So
it was actually really well done.
It's really well done.
And really enjoyable.
A really great protagonist, I think, and I'm really excited to read more about her.
It was really fun. And I went into it thinking this is going to be so silly and stupid.
Yeah.
And I read it and I'm like, wow, this was really entertaining. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what we got on the docket next week. I wanted to go back to writing letters into comic books.
Okay.
Because, we should really do it sometime.
I'm down.
I really want to ask Doug to see if he's done it, because I don't know if he's done it. I'll ask him next week.
You can do it. You're not attached to Doug. You can do it.
No, I know. I just want to know, how he did it.
And
if there are
he's
any,
an independent man.
If there are any, risky mistakes, or, things that I shouldn't say, or, what if I don't know. How do you get printed? I also want to know if you've been printed too, or if you've even just done it. Tell me in the feed below. There is no feed below. Don't do that. Send us a message somewhere on social media. The last thing I wanted to go over, Samantha.
Yes.
I want you to tell me, because you've been reading a book recently, a comic book, a very, very long one, a very classic one.
How long do you think it's been that I've been on this one?
Honestly, it feels really long, but it's not more than 3 weeks.
Really?
Probably not.
Wow.
But it is really long. Okay, what are we talking about, Samantha?
We are talking about Watchmen.
By Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons.
Yes.
Yeah, 1985, 33 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Samantha, where are you in Watchmen? What just happened?
So I have one more issue left.
She's on issue 11 of 12. What was the last thing that happened?
Well, they found out Ozymandias is the villain.
Oh, by the way, spoilers for Watchmen.
For Watchmen. Spoilers.
They probably read it.
Alerta. Yeah, so Ozymandias is the one getting all the masked heroes out of the way so he can do his master plan where he wants to, basically, in his mind, he wants to stop this World War III from happening because all these people keep getting these guns and a lot of violence. And so his way to stop the violence wasn't it to murder a ton of people?
Well, I don't know if you remember, he was putting money into teleportation.
Yes.
And
when you teleport people.
Well, yeah, he was testing his teleportation and found that organic matter doesn't live.
Right. It explodes, in fact, I think.
Yeah. It has a weird explosion that kills everybody.
Yes.
So I don't know if did you catch what he's teleporting?
It was some kind of monster?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an extraterrestrial monster.
An alien.
He wanted to trick the world.
Right, so they don't focus on fighting each other, but they focus on fighting this alien.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, to me, it reminded me a little of Thanos. I'm doing, something really good for humanity. I'm saving everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm murdering a ton of people, but, I'm saving humanity.
Exactly.
So...
Well, and you're talking about specifically Thanos in the movie.
Yes.
Because that's not always Thanos.
No.
In the comics. In fact, it's not Thanos in the comics. But, and what's funny is that, this came out 30 some odd years before that movie.
Right.
Where that, even those ideas started to become a thing.
Right.
So it's always amazing to me, how ahead of his time Alan Moore was. And you noticed him being very ahead of his time in one other part of his writing with Sally, right? Sally Jupiter.
Oh my gosh.
What'd you think about that? Her whole situation with the comedian and Laurie and everything.
Spoilers.
Oh, Samantha, we already gave the spoilers
I know.
noise. It's okay.
One more alerta?
Alerta.
Thank you. So, Susie?
What do you mean, Susie? Sally?
Sally.
I just said Sally, yeah.
Okay. It was a very uncomfortable subject.
Okay.
Where you found out that she got raped by this man, the comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And then her daughter finds out later on that even though this man raped her, her mom then continued a romantic relationship with this man.
Yeah. Now, wait, I think they know this.
Yeah.
I want to ask how you feel about it. Like,
felt
what you think about it.
Disgusted. You just feel, like, icky inside.
Yeah.
Like, oh my... You feel like if this was your mother. You know, you've cared so much and you've put so much emotion into my poor mother, and she went through this, and that horrible man, and...
To be fair, I don't think she likes her mom all that much.
It doesn't matter. She still probably had that feeling of my poor mother. How dare he do that to her?
Yeah.
As any person would, whether they like their mother or not.
Yeah.
No one deserves to get raped. Except someone who rapes people all the time.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I can see that.
Eye for an eye. Penis for a penis.
Penis for a penis, yes.
But it just felt so icky because you feel like, what if that was my mom? Like, that just... It must feel so horrible
to
just be tricked like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such an icky feeling. But it's so well done and so well written to make you feel that way. Because, like, I felt a lot of different emotions in comics, but I've never felt that specific emotion before. Where you just feel like, oh, God.
Like you feel terrible?
You just feel terrible and gross and, like, you want to take a shower.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen in comics, like, tons of blood and death, and that doesn't make you want to take a shower. This does.
I cannot. Yeah, I agree completely. I'm really excited for you to read this last issue. So the last stuff she saw, the last images of the 11th issue is people seeing a bright light looking off to the side and then slowly, like, basically getting disintegrated and faded out by the light. They're all dead. So I'm excited for you to read that last issue. There is a lot of shit to go down still.
I'm very excited.
And then we're going to watch the movie, which has a slight change to the plot in general. Not to the plot in general. There's a slight change. And I'm interested to see how you think about it.
I'm very excited. I feel like I say this a lot.
What?
He's like, I didn't expect to like it this much.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
I mean, before you got into comics, you didn't expect to be in comics.
But also, you know, this is a whole world that I didn't know about.
Uh-huh.
Not comics. I mean, Watchmen is a whole different universe I didn't know anything about.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you know. But I care so much.
Yeah.
I care so goddamn much.
That's how good Alan Moore is.
He's so good.
It's amazing.
His beard and everything.
His beard is fantastic. Okay. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I love hearing about, like, Watchmen, because I got to read it again right before rereading all of Doomsday Clock as well. So I'm really excited for you to get onto that. It's going to be great.
I'm very excited for Doomsday Clock.
Well, I think that is going to about do it for this week. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. We are still generally pretty new. We're episode 45, but that's still pretty new in the grand scheme of things. You know, in terms of, like, the last century or so. Very new. But so the biggest thing you can do for us is to give us a review or star rating on iTunes. If you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us with your mouth or with your mouse. I do that joke all the time, and Doug hates it. Nice. It's great.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so be sure to check back in next week, or better yet, subscribe to this podcast feed, and you'll never have to think about it. Now, Samantha, do you want to say Doug's lines?
And you can do that on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, and Google Play Music.
We're also on Spotify now.
And Spotify. So whichever podcast app you prefer, we've got you covered.
Yeah.
In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us, not me, but sometimes me, on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @comicscovered. You can also find web archives of all of our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com, libsyn.com.
Nice.
And on our YouTube channel. We also have video versions of our shows on Facebook as well, so check that out. Mm-hmm. And if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback...
Or physically.
And please do.
Please do.
Please do. Thanks again for listening, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm Doug.
Good job. And I'm Batman. And this has been Comics Covered. Cheerio.